Welcome to Tom Strong Reviews. Here we have the HexBug Nano Space range of sets. In this video I'm going to review the Nano Space Discovery Station Habitat set, which is the box set in the middle. As with all the Nano Space Habitat sets, this Discovery Station box was crammed full. Each item is in its own bag. The bags contain track or doors or components. Really looking forward to the set because I can review the truck in full detail, and it's the first set with doors, or as I like to call them, airlocks. Let's get this set built and set up to review. Everything you see on the table is included in this set, including these two HexBug Nanos. They both come with the LR44 batteries included. The grey one, the deep grey one, has got a beautiful silver reflective back. I'm calling these Nanos the Space Rangers, but they're exactly the same as regular HexBug Nano V1, so if I pop any of these, and you'll see these later in the video, they'll also work just as well with the set, the track, and all the add-ons. One of the best add-ons, I think, is this Space Moon Buggy, or trailer. It's multi-purpose. There are different clip-on actions, so you can make it be a work truck, a fuel truck, and as you saw, the Nano's actually got inside and driven off himself. I'm going to pop the HexBug Nano back in. Modular components clip on the back, including a gun turret. So although this is a Discovery Station, it's a big focus on science because you've got here big satellite dish. The guys, of course, might encounter some hostile enemies. This is also the first set that has the airlock doors, which is a whole new way of doing doors for the HexBug Nano range. And I'll go through all these details and more. Just quickly turn them off. Also have his own individual spacesuit, so he doesn't need to be in the truck. And now he's absolutely able to go outside and buzz around. It's a little bit heavy and slow for them, but he's equally able to inside if you've lost or had a decompression issue. Inside, he's looking around the ion cannon area, but if there's a decompression issue, he can then go in and repair the area that needs his attention. So these suits work inside and out. So a completely different build. I've isolated all the science information over to the far right, two different pods so they can't interfere with each other. I've got the defense of the base of the ion cannon spinning turret now raised up on a tower. And I'm gonna kind of assume that these open and close perspex screens are actually shields, so they can open really up, so they actually angle quite nicely, so you can use them in any area. You could also, of course, surround the main scanner dish and have it so that you can close it and open it. So lots of theories and ideas. It's very much giving you a stimulus for play. The antenna spins and angles, so you've seen a couple of angles already. I've done one cheat on this build I need to own up to. There's a missing closed door lug just there, but because this wall covers it so admirably, the HexBugs don't mind, so I've got one less lug than I'd like. So in actual fact, therefore, I could have two extra lugs. So that means I can close off different areas as and when I want. He's fallen over for some reason. They do that, you need to interact. But as you can see, I've got it so they can go underneath the dish. I'm not going to angle the dish too much now. He's clearly in science discovery mode. The airlock I've currently got closed. Now I've deliberately separated out more so that I can properly control access to the truck, where the original setup had two routes to the truck and I couldn't control the HexBugs the way I wanted. So I'm actually going to open the inner airlock door. Of course, I'm making sure the outer airlock door is closed this time, and I'm going to wait for a willing HexBug Nano Space Ranger, thank you Gray, to come along. I can now control. Of course he turned around because he got fed up on me waiting. He thought he'd go back into the station. He thinks he's forgotten his spacesuit. No, you don't need a spacesuit. I'll put them on as and when I need to. So he's now volunteering to go off in the truck. Now a little gentle steering. You know, I think they can actually remote control these things anyway, but he can go into the various different areas, and I'm going to load him up with a barrel, which he needs to go off and deposit somewhere off camera left. Now the other guy, of course, is manning the ion cannon, making sure that if there's any issues on the horizon or further afield, that he can defend his fellow Nano. And of course the truck will come back trundle, empty, ready to pick up the next consignment. Now if there are any issues, of course, there's also a weapon arrangement, there's fuel or water arrangement, so it all depends on what you, how you decide how to use these nanos. Now this bit doesn't work without a bit of help. So the decoupling, so of course he's going to drive his truck back into the entrance. No, I don't really want you to go backwards, he's now facing the wrong way in the truck. Oh, in fact, maybe this is the trick. Reverse it all the way up, be quick on the doors, and I can quickly close it. He obviously wants to get back in, and I didn't lock it open, so depending on how far you open the door, you can either lock it up or let it fall straight back down again. So there's a really nice kind of simple setup. Now you can also say that this is, let's say, the garage or preparation area, so when the guys are going to kit up into their own individual spacesuits, and they're actually going to more than a spacesuit because they've got, you know, there's quite a bit of detail. These will zoom in and show how to fit them. Then there's lots of options there. So I've got the Nano ion cannon being manned still. I've got the science going on. Base is secure. They could perhaps close down for the night. Bring out the shield wall. Putting on the Space Nano Ranger outer suits is really simple. It's easier to turn upside down. It's like a shroud that clips on behind the Nano's neck. So if you line up the part with the Nano's neck first, pop the head in first, and then slide the body down, and you can see there it's nice and free and able to run. And of course he can go off on his adventures. Let's just leave him powered off for a moment. Now all HexBug Nano V1s are exactly the same shape and design, so this time I can put one of my HexBug Nano festive bugs inside a spacesuit. Again, behind the neck, in with the head first, click it in, and then allow the body to slip in. Now taking them off, there's a bit of a trick to taking them off. Take them off from the back. So you want to get the tail of the Nano, and you want to hold on to the spacesuit, and you want to prise the tail down so the head is the only thing left in, and then gently you can now grab the side of the Nano, you can gently prise it out. Now if you do it like that, you won't damage the neck and the rubber sides too much, so that's one thing you'll be bit more careful of. These completely enclosing shrouds, as a spacesuit needs to be, of course, they really do grip onto the Nanos well. The space truck or moon base rover is really good. So it doesn't have to have a back on it, and it works perfectly well. Obviously there's space underneath for the Nano. It really just simply fits under there. You've got three main back options. Let's start with the main simple truck back option. So this turns it into kind of a transporter, and of course you can pop some of the items on the back. Now there's a ridge around, so actually you've got a bit of ability to keep the actual product on, but if you wanted to tip, you can of course unload, a little bit of rattle, the items that you are carrying to the deposit. So that's the back trailer option. You've then also got this one, which has got two options. So this cross, let's clip that on, same idea, goes over the top. Now you could just have it like that, it looks good. But what you actually then get the ability to do is to clip on a small radar dish that can swivel, or the gun. So you've also got an option to have quite a big turret gun on here, obviously a full 360 spin again, which makes this quite a mean component, so it turns your truck into a tank, or certainly an artillery piece. Now some of the backs need a little bit of help to pry off the sides. I've found the water or fuel pod particularly good at grasping, and therefore particularly harder to remove, so you do need to get your fingers underneath the sides again, just like I showed you with the cross point. But the water truck, very much more utilitarian, so it could be taking water or fuel from one base to another base. I think this is again really great kind of play elements. And you've of course got all kinds of cargo pods. Maybe this is in its truck mode, taking radioactive deposits to a safe dump. So this is very much kind of a Space 1999 moon base alpha kind of scenario, where you could have these guys doing various jobs and utilities as the moon base is doing its mining activities. Really love the truck. Let's just pop an original V1 underneath to let you see that any V1 Nano drives it as well as another. Here's an expanded set. I've got pieces from other kits in here, and I'm going to just, whilst they're buzzing around, explain a little bit more about the doors and the quality of the kit. So as you can see, I've deliberately set the airlock system with the siding visible to the camera because there's just so much detail. I've also got one of the wall pieces here, just so I can show you painted detail. There's some really wonderful orange lining around the windows, as well as decals, etc. on various parts and pieces. I was going to stand him up because he was making a bit of noise, and he stood himself up. So the other guy. Okay, as you can see, HexBug Nanos do this. They fall over, they tussle, they push each other out, and they get up sometimes and they don't other times. You've got to help them. That's part of its big interactive game set. Okay, a few more pointers about the doors then. So connecting doors to track, you can only really do it to straight sections, any straight section. So the door itself has got a flanged wedge on one side, and that needs to nest into the underside of a straight piece like this. So there becomes a door. Now you can actually do that also on these small mini hex cells. So if I quickly swap this piece, so this blue guy gets out of the mini radar dish setup, I'm going to click this on, do that again, and if I have the door open, it's fine again. So I'm going to shut it, but there's now a bit more depth because of the piece shape itself. There's a little bit more of a straight track, so when they are nosing in there, they're more likely to get their noses stuck. They'll turn around to get stuck there, but it's much more like a prisoner, which might be the idea. You know, having a prison for some bad guys isn't a bad idea. You need to have these side panels. This side panel is very much a kind of extra add-on. I'm going to open these airlocks just so we can see whether any of them actually come around to the truck area. The truck ramp, I've not got the truck in place, deliberately just to show you that they can walk through here. So here comes a green festive bug and the grey. They're all going to pile out, and I'm going to pile them back in. Now multiple sets have multiples of these. I'm actually going to show you they can actually go back in. So they can more or less climb back in themselves. There we go, there's the grey and there's the brown. So you have multiples of these doors, so you don't have to have an airless environment. It doesn't have to be, you know, no atmosphere. These don't have to be airlocks, they can just be regular doors. Again, it's really all for your choosing. So the radar dish or the sensor dish, very much better on a tall tower because you can then have it flat and spinning all the way around, where of course if this was mounted on the floor, you'd have to have it reasonably angled so that the guys can get underneath the dish. Now you'll notice near the iron cannon I've got these blue shields on their own. So they actually come off. Well, I say come off, you don't have to assemble them with the sidewalls with the tops. So here's the sidewall again, beautiful coloration on both sides. The normal standard way is you'd click on top of the wall, the angleable shield or roof, depending how you want to call it, depending again on your environment. Doesn't have to be, but because these lugs are aligned with these lugs, they again fit in the same positions on any of the side parts of the hex cells. My goodness, he's escaped. Luckily this isn't an atmosphere-free environment, and he'll be absolutely fine. So I can now, of course, just click this here. I've deliberately done it side on so you can see all the angles. So it opens really wide up, so if you had a rocket ship, you could of course have it launch out of there, or a hovercraft, etc. But you can also close up to the middle position, and you can have 3 of these on any single hex cell, and you've got a very nice, of course, upright. So there's a nice little ridge clicker system in here that helps keep that in place where you put it. Some of these cargo pods you could actually have littered around the place, and you'll find the Nanos are quite admirable at moving them around. They'll shut them around. It's a little bit like a very slow game of football. I'm going to have to force somebody into them. There we go for it, Brown. So he's nudging them around a bit, but you can again have a place where they've got to push the actual cartons down towards the truck loading area onto the back. So this is just again another sample setup. It's very much for you to decide on how you're going to play. This is like a very giant stylized base space set, and you've got yourself as many options as you have sets. So what do I think? I think HexBug Nano Space is an excellent range. They've really upgraded the track. These flange sides on the track pieces, really excellent. It allows the Nanos to overtake each other and move more fluidly around the track. So if I actually create and overtake. Here we go, red going past green and brown, no problems at all. It works so well. Yes, they fall over, but they can self-right. They'll use the sides to their advantage, and they get up more often, so they can push each other over. They can even push each other out. It doesn't matter. It's generally a much better flow system. I can move and put objects in places you wouldn't consider putting objects in the old system, because I know the nanos can get around this. And now I'm going to just force the grey. Oh, the blue's doing it for me now. I'm going to force the grey guy. There we go. They go around both sides. There's just so many things you can do. Yes, the doors are different. So now the idea is that you've got double airlock doors. The old doors used to work fine, but they rattled. The track just looks so basic. Now everything looks so lush with ridges and paint and ink and different colours. I'm going to open the inner space door, and this is the other advantage, because things are flanged. I'm just going to grab one. These guys have got a chance to turn around in here. So yeah, he might be in there for a while, but he could. Okay. Now there's a few, and the brown's turned around to prove the point. Come on, you guy, out you go. So the point to improve, they can actually turn around inside a corridor piece. So you can have doors, dead ends, single tracks. You don't have to have this with this centre piece. You can split them up and have them individually on a track somewhere, going into a prison cell or guarding and separating your research tower. The theme is altogether up to you, and all these extra components and pieces they give you, and the versatility, and this truck, I really like this truck. There's nothing wrong with these nano shell suits that the guys have got to explore space, but the truck makes it. I really want some more of these. I think this is a fantastic idea that you can have your nano running across the surface of your table or floor with different modular sets. I think the modularity really makes these awesome. They can be a tank, they can be research, they can be doing all kinds of various utility duties, and I think it's a really fantastic idea. The loading and unloading, really, really neat idea. And this being able to link the HexBug habitat to the outside world, both in and out. The guys go in and out of here just as well. Brilliant idea. I think HexBug have done a really good job, but let me know what you think. Are you going to buy into the HexBug Nano Space Ranger track habitat sets to let your old HexBug Nanos have a new lease of life, or not? Let me know in the comment section at the end of this video. I really want to see what everyone else thinks about these things. I think HexBug have solved a great deal of the issues that there were with the old track, although I love it. You know, you'll see hundreds of my videos with maze track setups. I think they're going to work even better with the Nano Space sets. Thank you for watching. I hope you found my video useful and helped you with your purchasing decisions. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment. I try to answer as many questions left on my videos as possible.